The Barrie Springwater Boundary Adjustment Act 2025 provides a practical framework to realign local municipality boundaries so growth can be planned and delivered more effectively. This legislation ensures a smooth transition of services, bylaws and planning processes and gives municipalities the tools they need to better support expected growth.
Okay, and joining us now in the CTV Barrie studio is the Mayor of Barrie, Alex Nuttall. What was your first reaction after the announcement today, Mr. Mayor?
Well, I'm extremely excited for the future of Barrie. When you think about the amount of people that live in this city that have to commute to Toronto, every single one that we can keep here, earning here, and then able to spend time with their family here, I think is a big step forward for our city. And so I'm incredibly thankful that the province has moved forward with legislation to adjust the boundary, to bring in those lands for jobs, and to really provide some stability for our region going forward.
Okay. Let's break down what all of this means. So we know that Barrie will be growing by nearly 1,700 hectares, just over 4,000 acres. The plan is to secure 8,000 more homes in the city. Goal is to create 23,000 more jobs. So overall, it does impact 2.3% of the land in Springwater Township, less than 1% of the land in Oro-Medonte. So now that the bill has been introduced, what are the next steps?
Yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done between the City of Barrie and our surrounding municipalities. We need to ensure that all of those that are on the tax roll for the other municipalities come into the city for January 1st or Royal Assent. And we make sure that we're going to have the roads cleaned and all of the things that you would expect inside of the City of Barrie. Beyond that, I think there's a lot of work to do to make sure that the appropriate zonings are in the places they're supposed to be, so we can get those jobs coming to market and we can go and attract those big manufacturers to the city. So all of that's going to play out, I think, over the next number of years. And finally, we need to work through the piece that wasn't included in the bill today, which is the compensation.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. I understand that there has been framework laid out. Are you going to follow through with that?
Well, it was really interesting. In the legislation, the compensation wasn't included. And we had a great framework, something that I truly supported, with Springwater Township, providing some servicing to them to be able to get some long-term care and some seniors residences in place, as well as some other residential at the top of Bayfield Street. We had also agreed to about $23 million. And so I wholeheartedly support that framework. I think Mayor Coughlin and Springwater came to the table and tried to get something that made a lot of sense for Springwater. It's unfortunate that the politics got in the way around that table, but I have a lot of respect for the work that Mayor Coughlin did to be able to get us to this point, and I fully intend on following through on the compensation there from the person who agreed. We didn't have full agreement from Oro-Medonte or from the County of Simcoe, which is unfortunate, and we'll see where that lands.
Obviously, this has been happening just in the last couple of hours. Have you had the chance to speak with the different mayors about this and what's going to happen? Yeah,
actually, when it was being put into legislation, they didn't tell us, but they brought everybody together to run through what the legislation entailed and really what the new boundaries would be, which was what was discussed on September the 16th when we had a full group meeting. And so there wasn't much change from that. What I think was a change was, had there been all four parties agreeing, coming to the table and proposing it together to the province, then compensation would have been delivered today. Unfortunately, there were holdouts, and that undermined the process.
So that being said, do you anticipate that the handover is going to be a smooth one, or there are going to be some hurdles there as well?
I think it's going to be smooth. You know, at the end of the day, all of us have incredible staff in all of these municipalities that will work very hard to ensure that provincial law is followed, and this is just that. It's legislation is turning into provincial law once it's given royal assent. And I just want to thank all of the folks inside Barrie City Hall, and certainly the other city halls and town halls, that put so many hours into this, because this is really 3 years in the making. And I truly believe that we need to have not just great housing for people in the city of Barrie and the surrounding area, but we need to have the jobs that come with that.
So you're saying 3 years in the making, but you've given a deadline of January 1st. So with a majority government, we might expect this to go into law, but is that a realistic time frame, January 1st?
Look, I think it is, as long as everyone's cooperating, in the sense that a lot of the information we already have because it's publicly available. I think there's some final pieces that need to be figured out, you know, where does each municipality provide the snow clearance and the road clearance and those types of things. Once we get that done, it's going to be pretty well, the new norm.
Okay. This is going to be an ongoing conversation, no doubt. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
We've been speaking with the Mayor of Barrie, Alex Nuttall.